morning and welcome to this highlights program from TV New Zealand Sports of highlights of last night's second test match in the Rugby League tour between New Zealand and France from the Gilbert Brutus Stadium in Perpignan in the south of France. Now, the weather conditions for the second test, and bearing in mind New Zealand won the first test by 22 points to 0 a fortnight ago in Marseille, the weather conditions were overcast and fine, and the temperature was much warmer than the Kiwis had experienced in other parts of France earlier in this tour. It was up to about 13 degrees for the playing of last night's match. We bring you now highlights of the game. We join it just after the kickoff, and our commentators are Tony Palmer of TV New Zealand, and with him is the New Zealand Rugby League team member Howie Tamati.
Filipina, little chip through, chasing it, but tripped, and the penalty. I think also played to them for that one. So a chance for another 2 points now for Olsen Filipina. And a relatively kickable one for him this time. Already the whistling and hissing starts. Olsen Filipina, a very precise and deliberate kicker, and makes sure that the steps are all precisely right when he runs in. Just the 1-2. Flags are up. New Zealand on the board, 2-0. And if you're wondering why we sound a little thin and reedy in this part of the world, it's because we are having some technical problems with the sound in reaching you. I hope you'll bear with us, and we will try, if we can, to improve it. Clayton Friend, Dean Bell. Hitting Laforgue head on and being pushed back. Ball coming loose. Play on, says the referee. Friend flicks it out to Kurt Sorensen, ranging way out on the wing. Free again. Filipina. McGann. Sorensen. Seems that Dane Sorensen may have become a little more determined after that knock as well. Kemble for the line. Finding touch and taking the Kiwis again well up into the French half. Filipina. Caught in a head high by Jerry Bernabe. But it's not as if it's the first time that Thierry Bernabe has come in with similar tactics. Friend.
Good run. Yeah, Wayne knocked the ball on. It was a good attempt, though. Kiwi's giving them a little bit of their own back. Crowd not too happy about it. There he is.
Campbell running it back. Well held, and referee Ron Campbell coming over to make sure that LaForgue got off to allow him to play the ball. Kurt Sorensen flicks it back. James Sorensen. Straight to C2. Bellaby coming through, can't hold it. Wayne Wallace picks it up. Dean Bell has it. Bell making the break by himself. Going up and right. Good tackle on Dean Bell from Payere, the fullback. Dane O'Hara. A lot of unconventional play in this match so far. Certainly nothing going to plan for either side at the moment. Right. Pass to Friend.
They've got to settle down a little bit.
Through the way. Friend. Running the bracket here. Clayton Friend gets the pass out to Hugh McGann, and Hugh McGann will score.
Good try.
First try of the match to Hugh McGann for New Zealand. 6-0.
Play was getting pretty sloppy out there. I was a bit worried that things would start to come apart, but in the end they made the break. It was good.
And a relatively kickable one for Olsen Filipino. Sandboy today is Glenn Gibb. Looking at that try again. Hugh McGann running over, being put in virtually unmarked by Clayton Friend. Running it around until the French defence was really split. And all at 6s and 7s, and the holes just opened up out wide. So Olsen Filipino with a chance now to make it 8. That's away to the left, so the score remains at 6-0. New Zealand leading France. Wise move. Fred, right. Looking to feed the ball back. Wayne Wallace takes it off him. Wallace straight into the tackle. Hugh McGann waiting. Coy to Kurt Sorensen, couldn't hold it, knocked it on, and then French defence coming through knocked it on. Scrum goes down just outside the French 22. New Zealand leading 6-0. Penalty to Olsen Filipino, the try to Hugh McGann. Well hooked. LaForgue coming off the back. Wash passing it back, and the French try to set something up now again down the middle. Bernabe. Punya flicking it out, trying to set something out. T2. T2 caught. Palang. One of the new breed of French players, along with Mongayar. Mongayar and Palang, the second rowers, both big and tall and mobile. The ball trying to get a pass away. Certainly no love lost at this stage.
Don't do anybody any favours in test matches.
Scrum goes down midway 22 and halfway in Kiwi territory. Clayton Friend waiting for the scrum to come round straight again. One place he doesn't want a penalty. A wrong feed. Ball comes out. Filipina.
The French are up miles offside.
Have been for most of the half. Arkoi. Dane Sorensen driving it up as ever. Friend. Kurt Sorensen. Pass straight to Palang. Kiwis are going to need to be tough on the tackling here. Needs to be tight. That O'Hara catching Ratier and penalised. Not allowing him to play the ball.
A bit harsh, I thought. The guy was letting out.
Looked to me as though he was simply making sure the tackle.
Right. He's up and away.
Considering the amount of time that it's taken for the Frenchmen to release the Kiwis in the tackles, it would seem like a harsh judgment. So the ball goes out right on the 22 in Kiwi territory. Chance for France to attack.
Big pressure from France.
Wash. Chantal. Wash. It's Punya. Wash. T2. One of the more effective forwards in the first test.
Puts back the blind.
Quick hand. Almost giving them a gap. The Kiwi defence waiting. Bernabe slipping out of the first tackle. It's Punya coming through. Great speed, running onto the ball. And up on the 22 again. Palang. Going left. It's Punya flicking it through. The new man in the centre is for France, Thierry Bernabe. Wash. It's Punya. Kurt Sorensen picks up the ball. Play on, here's the referee.
Yeah, we just got to settle it down here. Just settle it down here. Drive in a couple. Get things sorted out. Yeah, Dane will do it.
Seems rather ridiculous the amount of time that the Frenchmen are keeping the Kiwis down in the tackle.
Yeah, well, I think that was a good. That's the kind of thing that was happening over in England. The Englishmen were lying all over us, and when we were making the tackles, we were getting up quickly. You know, we should perhaps start practicing trying to play the balls down. Because that's what happened just then. We were letting the French up too early.
Seems to be working effectively for France.
Well, referees let them get away with it. Penalised that.
Wayne Wallace penalised for striking. Berger for the line. Gouache, Espunya, D2. Kurt Sorensen on his back and managing to bring him to ground. Shamsal to Palang. Held by the Sorensen brothers.
Yes. James Sorensen's tremendous tackler. For a big man, he always goes low. Very well. Here's an example of it.
Lapierre almost away and caught again by Dane Sorensen. Penalty to France for an offence in the tackle on Lapierre. Mark Palansk is injured, but he's up and seems to be okay again.
Yeah, starting to feel the knock now.
It's been a very, very torrid first half. It'll be Espunya with the shot. One of the bright young stars of French Rugby League, Dominique Espunya. He's 19 years old from the Lézinon club, and certainly, despite his job being made very hard, I thought, by Gresek, the halfback, in the first test, I thought he was outstanding.
Well, he had a couple of really good runs in the first half of the test when France was still competing, and he looked a really good player. Got a lot of pace. Can't kick those.
Away to the left, picked up by Hugh McGann. Wayne Wallace. Crowd loving these tackles. Dane Sorensen, as ever, doing the donkey work and driving it up. Right. The kick through. McGann chasing it. Referee ruled a knock on.
Oh, I'd say it was a knock on. We'll take it, Tony.
The crowd didn't like it. Certainly, Houston didn't like it either.
I think maybe it'd been better if he felt it with his foot.
Friend sees the scrum. Ball coming back the Kiwis' way. Friend having a little dab, but well caught by Gouache, his opposite number today, doing a far more effective job than did Gresek. O'Regan, Luluai. McGann. Wallace, Friend, O'Regan, right. Still managing to get the ball up to Luluai. Luluai caught. That's taken them right up almost to the French 22. O'Regan. Arcoy can't hold it. Dean Bell brings it back. Busting out of another dubious-looking head-high tackle. Oops. Not a good kick from Sorensen. Picked up by Palang. Bernabe to Mongaya. Espunya, little double round. Good police. The French still trying to move the ball. Berger.
Good cover.
Wayne Wallace back there to tackle.
Good cover by Wayne.
They certainly look effective when they start moving it. Getting a little bit more organisation in the way they're doing things now, France.
Yeah.
Kick through, and is that going to find the line?
Yes.
Just about half a metre short. So the best attacking opportunity France have had.
Well, early on in the game, they were all bunched up, and now they've started to spread out and starting to move the ball a bit better. Starting to make a bit of yardage. They drove the ball a lot better as well. Set it up better.
coming out of there, so the scrum will go down again. Still some trouble getting these front rows down. Considering the one Clayton was penalised for before, he might have been lucky to get away with that.
There's
a little bit of a let-off for the Kiwis. McGann waiting. O'Regan.
Good run.
Running it straight. Nice pass up to Luluai, but Luluai had overrun it. And they've lost possession as a result. It's Punya. Palank going back inside. Still getting the ball away. It's Punya again. The form. Straight to Hugh McGann. Been an awful lot of loose ball for a test match.
Yeah, trying to throw the ball around.
Dane Sorensen. McGann. Bruno Guash is being called out by referee Ron Campbell. Spoken to for using his knee in the tackle. Campbell for the line. Right on the French 22. Filipino with the ball. Another planned move from the Kiwi. Kurt Sorensen comes out with it this time. Campbell. Wallace.
Good run from Damian.
Friend. Hartcoy giving it to Dean Bell. Kurt Sorensen gets the pass back. O'Regan.
Ronnie's having a good, strong game. Taking the ball up hard.
Filipina.
Trouble.
Wayne Wallace. Just a metre short of the line now, and they've lost possession. Losing the ball in the tackle. And France with a chance to let themselves off the hook. Laforgue. Running out of tackles and not making a lot of ground, so they put the kick in. Dane O'Hara's under that, and he'll run it back up. O'Regan to Luluai. Bell. Dean Bell pushing off the winger and just running around him and making a good 15 metres. O'Regan, Friend. Hartcoy to right, to McGann. Filipina going back inside, back to McGann, picking it up off his bootlaces. Hugh McGann spinning it, turning and reaches the line. Good try.
Excellent
the second
try.
one in the game for Hugh McGann.
One side of the field to the other.
Almost in the same position as the first try he scored in the game, Hugh McGann. And that makes 12 test tries for Hugh McGann in 13 tests.
Moved the ball beautifully there.
Looking at it again, Alton Filipina about to put the pass out, decides to go back inside, fooled the opposition totally, went right around Palank, flicks it over the top, and have a look at how Hugh McGann picks up this ball.
He's got good
Almost
hands.
on the ground.
He's got good hands as Huey.
Beautifully done.
Yeah.
Spinning around, evading the tackles, and reaching the line. Good try in Hugh McGann, and absolutely true Hugh McGann style.
Yes.
Olsen Philippina attempting the extra point. And that's away to the right. So the score remains at 10. Half-time almost up in this game. Kiwis still dominating when they get things organised. They've managed to contain the best of the French offensives. Ron O'Regan running it back. 10-0, the Kiwis leading France. Team Bell. Dane Sorensen. Bell still keeping it with ball alive with quick hands. Kurt Sorensen eventually in the tackle. Kiwis keeping it moving. Friend, O'Regan, Luluai. Kick. Hayare
Well picked up.
running it back. Dane O'Hara and Ron O'Regan have him.
Half time.
That is half-time. The Kiwis dominating when they had a chance to organise things. The French team looking dangerous on a couple of occasions, as we've come to expect, more from broken play than organised play, and not able to capitalise on any of it. One attempted penalty missed by Espunya. For the Kiwis, Olsen Philippina attempted a penalty initially. He missed that. Then he got a penalty about 4 minutes later. The first try came to Hugh McGann after a good setup. That made it 6. Then Olsen Philippina failed with the conversion. And then the second try to Hugh McGann, making it 10. Again, the conversion missed. So the score at half-time remains 10-0 to the Kiwis. Certainly looking the better side when they start to put it together and when they start playing up the middle. The way the game has gone, that seems to be a fair indication of the two teams. 2 tries to 0, and I would expect that the Kiwis can only get better in the second half when they start to organise things a little more and put it together a little more. So that's the way it is at half-time in the second test at Perpignan. The Kiwis leading France by 10-0. A restart by Gary Kemble. The Kiwis leading by 10-0 over France after a very, very ordinary first half in a game that has really looked most disorganised. Certainly not attractive football. The Frenchmen really only achieving anything from broken play and from opportunism.
Yeah, they look very disorganised.
The break. Espunya. Team Bell has him. Shoulder charge, which he's got away with. Dominique Espunya, one of the more exciting players in the French team.
That should be the last time that little fella runs for a while.
To restart. Chantal. Tackle blow by Wayne Wallace. Espunya not looking, still manages to hold the ball. Belang. Berger. Mongaya. Belarcoy up on him very quickly, allowing them no space. Palis. Gary Kemble coming out with the ball. Luluai. Dane O'Hara down the wing, pushing off one tackler. Still the fullback to beat and taken by Payoi. Philippina.
Well, he had to go then by himself.
O'Regan, Kurt Sorensen. Looking for space to set something up. Arcoy running up off him, but decides to take the tackle. Right. Trying to get the ball away, but held by Berger. Holding his elbow so he couldn't pass the ball. McGann, Luluai. McGann, Friend. Evading C2's head high. O'Hara.
Hand over.
Caught in the sixth tackle, handing over to the opposition. Trying now to contain France within their 22. Loose ball in the tackle. Kiwi ball. Ron O'Regan disputing possession. Being allowed it. Right. Arcoy. Owen Wright waiting. McGann. Wallace. Pass looked almost forward. Right up on the French 22 now. Friend. Having a little dab himself, Clayton Friend, almost getting away with it. Finally caught. 3 or 4 times in the game when he's had a little dab himself, he's found some space. Right, still gets the pass back. Dane Sorensen. Hugh McGann not able to hold it, bouncing off his leg.
Under a lot of pressure now, the French. They won't want to stay here too long.
One or two of them seem to be wilting just a little, like Thierry Bernabé is one in particular who put in a lot of physical stuff in the first half, but it seems to be tiring. Yeah. It's through from Berger, caught by Team Bell. Bell running it up himself, having a go, almost at the line. Quarter metre short. Plays it, Kurt Sorensen. Filipina. Settling things down now. The Kiwis trying to mount an attack. Friend. Sorensen. Still gets the pass up.
This referee doesn't believe it's 5 metres. Especially the guys wearing white jerseys.
Seems to have been fairly lax. Wayne Wallace trying to push his way over.
Hand over. 6 seconds.
I think that's 5.
Hand over.
Hand over. The second time in 3 or 4 minutes in the second half. Really is a very untidy match for a test match. It's almost as if the Kiwis don't really know how to make it work, and the Frenchmen certainly haven't got the faintest idea how to organise things.
Yeah. They're trying to do too much too soon, you know. I think you should set it, like I said before, just try to settle up a little bit more. Just set it up properly.
Campbell. Bell. Bell having to go inside, but didn't see Mongear behind him. Sorensen. O'Regan. Sorensen. O'Regan. Having a very solid game, Rod O'Regan. Doing sensible things.
At the moment we've got both centres in there. You can't really go anywhere. Can't move the ball wide.
Bomb from Arcoy. Again up there and waiting for it. Loose ball picked up by Owen Wright. Pass back to Filipino. And once again, a set up for the Kiwi. Friend. Sorensen. Back into Dean Bell. Bell is through the opposition and will score. Can he reach the line?
There's the double movement there.
Penalised for the double movement. The pass, in fact, looked forward previous to it. Considering some of the double movements that have gained them tries on the tour, it was certainly worth a try. The forward. Punya. Elise, but making no progress. French team not really making a lot of headway in their allotted tackle each time. Punya. Chips through. O'Hara's going back for it. Picks it up.
Good run by Dane. How to bring it up.
Kurt Sorensen. Arcoy. Kurt Sorensen again. He'll get the pass back. Friend. McGann. A little bit of a battle between Max Chantal and Clayton Friend.
Yeah, Clayton's picking on the big guys again.
Seems Clayton Friend has taken a knock, which may have been the motivation for the anger.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Friend. Dane Sorensen. Friend. Arcoy. Bell. Philip. Elia.
No, they didn't give him a... Knock off the ball in the tackle.
They were well on top of him when he actually took the ball.
Didn't give him any room at all. Hello, pulled somebody out.
Well, we seem to have lost our sound commentary at this vital stage of this game here in Perpignan. So it looks like for the next few minutes, until we restore the line to Tony Palmer and Howie Tamatu, we might listen into Radio New Zealand's Alan McLaughlin. With him is Bill O'Callaghan of the New Zealand Kiwi team.
France will be gone. No way they'd come back into this game. New Zealand are in the box seat at the moment, 10-0, but they would really take it to the French if they scored one more try and converted that. Here's a chance for France. They kick inside their own quarter. Good kick too. But O'Hara's there in position. Kemble back there with him. These two whole players, they combine so well. Got support. Kemble gets up to halfway. Ducks under the tackle of Palenque before he's knocked to the ground. O'Hara inside the French halfway, a couple of metres. Back to Mark Elia. Tries to step out of a tackle. Knocked over in centre field. 8 metres inside the French half. Wallace. Friend. O'Regan sells a dummy, slips over, stands up. Picked up by 4 French players and they knock him to the ground. 3 or 4 metres inside the French half. New Zealand leading 10-0.
Friend. Well, I think just about everybody on the paddock has had a go at Clayton Friend. Friend. Throwing the pass back. Arcoy picks it up. Filipina. Yes. Arcoy. 5 tackles on the Kiwis. Sorensen. To Dean Bell, and Dean Bell through.
No try. No try. Not awarded it. Forward pass. Yeah, he's ordered forward pass.
Dean Bell putting the ball down over the line in very theatrical fashion, as if to say, what do I have to do to score a try? This really has not been one of the great games of rugby league. Tackle Clayton Friend on his Punya, stopping the movement. Mongea gets the ball back. Aliste. Olsen Filipina obviously starting to get a little frustrated too.
Yes, he's starting to get a little bit annoyed.
Takes a fair amount of aggro before he starts that sort of stuff.
I think one of the Frenchmen jumped on his arm before. Didn't like that too much.
Kiwi ball, Friend, Filipina. Friend, O'Regan, Bell. Wallace. McGann. McGann ducking under the first tackle, caught by the second. Wallace. Dane Sorensen. Right. O'Regan. Kurt Sorensen trying to bust through the middle. Gets the ball free as he goes into the tackle. Clayton Friend couldn't hold it as he came through. The Frenchmen have been trapped right inside their 22 almost for a fair portion of this second half.
Yeah, hardly been out of it.
Punya with a little chip through. Picked up beautifully. Gary Kemble out there. Racing down the wing, the ball comes back inside.
No, that's good for him. Pull them back.
Well, the crowd doesn't like it. obviously a very partisan crowd, and it certainly looked as though Roger Felice was going to score there. An open try line and 3 men.
He ruled him in front of the kick. Come from an offside position when they guy kicked the ball. Unlucky.
It's a very vocal and very disappointed crowd at the moment. Certainly it would have been greatly against the run of play, but an indication of just how dangerous the Frenchman can be from breakdown. The penalty's been awarded to the Kiwis, and Olsen Philippina's going to have a shot.
Crowd's getting a bit upset here.
We're sitting in the midst of an incredibly partisan crowd, and I might just keep my head down for a minute here.
Yeah, I think I might take my blazers and sit in this side out, okay? Just for a while. Could be a turning point in the game, really. If Olsen puts 2 points on them, you know, they might just give up altogether. As it did in Marseille.
Filipina can't make that one, so the score remains at 10-0.
Thanks for bringing on the replacement.
French replacements are André Perez and Jean-Luc Rabot. Looking to see who it is that's coming on. Perez, André Perez. Kimball runs it up. Perez has replaced Payare at fullback.
Because the referee doesn't lose control of the game.
Friend, Dane Sorensen.
I think Clayton's been having to do too much running himself. You know, been letting them get a lot of shots in him on him and on him when he shouldn't have.
Regan, Kurt Sorensen. Good pass, Olsen Filipina. Filipina going back in to straighten it up. Regan, Friend, McGann, right. Elia, Friend, Arcoy. Straight into the 2 French second rows. 5 tackles on the Kiwis.
You can tackle all day, but you still got to put points on the board.
Clayton Friend having a little dab, looking at the space that was there. Flicked the ball back to McGann, but he couldn't hold it. Scrum goes down midway, try line and 22. The Frenchman again inside their 22, where they have spent most of the second half. Still excellent Kiwi defence.
Yeah. Oh, he's seven.
And O'Hara gets the ball back to Elia. Elia well caught. The Kiwi's back on the French 22. Playing it himself. Right, Kurt Sorensen. Nice ball to Gary Kimball. As simple as that. Right between the posts. What a perfect ball from Kurt Sorensen.
Got a lot of strength there. Good second up for Gary. Good second.
And despite the fact that Gary Kemble is playing in his 15th test, that is his first test try.
Big shot tonight, eh?
And a relatively simple kick for Olsen Filipina, who's managed to get his own private sponsorship scheme going for the kicks at goal.
Yes.
Not quite sure how many francs this one's worth, but it's quite a few.
Well, he's on 5 francs to kick with my roommate, Green Gibbs. It's a little bit of incentive for him.
Points are there, 16-0. The Kiwis leading France.
The referee's got an injury here.
Looking at the way the try was set up, Kurt Sorensen going out wide and stretching things. But have a look at that pass for Kemble. Really, the try was made. Kemble had to finish it, and he went round between the posts and made the kick a lot easier for Olsen Filipina. But a perfect pass from Kurt Sorensen. Kind of thing we've come to expect from him. It's been the hallmark of his game now for a number of years. He's had a fairly quiet game. Kemble.
Yeah, it's been a very scrappy game, though.
O'Regan.
Ronnie's got a good, strong game. Moves the ball well. Taking it up. Simple hard.
Right. McGann.
He's ruled a forward pass.
One of the combinations that we haven't really seen working today is the well-known to New Zealand viewers anyway, combination in the second row of Hugh McGann and Owen Wright.
Yeah.
Hasn't really had a chance to fire today in the way this game has been played. Perez. Keeler Fogg. French team finding a little bit of energy in the last moments of the game. T2.
Don't get away from Dean.
Didier Cusson. He really hasn't looked like matching Dean Bell. It's Punya. Palank. See what they can do with the kick. Will chip up. T2 underneath it. Caught by Arcoy. Still flips the ball away. And that really has been the story of this French test side. The first test at Marseille, the same thing. When given an opportunity and when given the line in sight, they really haven't been able to finish anything. Right. Kurt Sorensen still gets the pass back. Brent Todd first touch of the ball. Clayton Friend to Dane Sorensen. Friend again. Pass to Kurt Sorensen. Kurt Sorensen has the line in sight. Being signalled by Hugh McGann to put it as close as possible to underneath the post.
Really good break from Clayton Friend there. Stayed his place and went through.
And try number 4 for the Kiwis.
Kiwi. Here it comes. Good ball by Dane. Dane took the ball in the tackle to Clayton. Trying to knock him.
Clayton Friend, despite one hand being held, managed to get it up and away And the signal from both Dane O'Hara and Hugh McGann to Kurt Sorensen to go as close as possible to make the conversion easier, which may have as much to do with Olsen's sponsorship as the extra points that don't terribly matter at this stage. Olsen Filipino, relatively kickable.
Quite Frank Frawley.
That one's over, 22. And a somewhat disillusioned crowd here, already starting to leave the stadium. Certainly no leavers in the New Zealand touring party contingent. They've come from all over New Zealand, and about half of the touring parties that were in England have continued to tour in France. All of them enjoying it.
Yeah, that'd been tremendous.
They provided a great deal of vocal and moral support, and in a lot of cases have been staying at the same hotels as the Kiwi players. French toss. That's it. That's the end of the game. 22-10, 4 tries to 0, 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half. The first point coming from a penalty for Olsen Filipina. Hugh McGann with 1 try midway through the second half, another one about 10 minutes later, and almost the same place. So 2 tries to Hugh McGann in the first half, and it was 10-0 at half-time. In the second half, a try to Gary Kemble, and as things started to open up a little for them, a try to Kurt Sorensen, making it 20, with the conversion by Olsen Filipina making it 22.
$14-0 to the Kiwis. Not a great deal of order in those scrums. Campbell not having a lot of success at trying to get the front rows to pack down straight. French ball. Gresek. Arcoy tidies up. The line umpire on the field pointing out the little disturbance between Fred Arcoy and Payer. So an attacking opportunity for France now. Gresek about to play the ball. Double round with Escuña, and Gresek going backwards. It's very, very hard to understand what he's doing some of the time, this Ivan Gresek, rated as a big star in French rugby league, but I really cannot see why. He was on the 81 tour to New Zealand and certainly didn't impress then. Kurt Sorensen, Luluai, Friend. Cooper. Right. McGann. Dean Bell. Through Friend. Cooper. Cooper still going. Dean Bell. Arcoy. Gary Kemble up there. Still being allowed a lot of freedom, the Kiwis. Kurt Sorensen. Kurt Sorensen makes the line. And has been given the 4th try. That's 2 for Kurt Sorensen today. The 1st and the 4th, which makes 3 test tries for him. One wonders how long this French side will last in terms of stamina. As Dane Sorensen lines up another kick. The very laid-back style, effective again. 2 conversions for him. Points to 0. McGann. Team Bell. Team Bell finding a hole, a gaping hole. To Luluai. Back to Bell. McGann. Arcoy. Bell. And eventually somebody decides to tackle. Friend, Cooper, Goulding. James Goulding looking to get that pass away. Eventually he's brought to ground. Right. Darryl Williams almost away. But the pass rolled forward. The scrum to go down on the French 22. Kiwis still being given extraordinary freedom to run, considering it's Test football, and considering that the Frenchmen are coached by an Australian. Taz Baitieri, an Italian-Australian who's played first-grade football in Sydney and also is still a player here. Good tackle that time by Shane Cooper, up very quickly. And again. It's going to be a question now of how long this French team can last in terms of defence, which is hardly their hallmark. Out on the full. So they come back to the 22. Olsen Filipina is being brought on. I think it will be Dane Sorensen he's replacing. No, in fact, it's Kurt Sorensen. No, it's Kurt Sorensen came over to the sideline just to have a word with Graham Lowe, and it might be James Goulding coming off. Yes, it is. James Goulding being brought off, Olsen Filipina going on. Filipina, as we've said, better known as a back. You may or may not be able to hear the referee talking to the front rows, telling Kurt Sorensen to put his left shoulder in first. Really not a lot of fire left in this French side now when they run. Still very dangerous, of course, from broken play. Unable to create things, but making a lot of mistakes. Play on, says the referee, so a full tackle count in hand. Kresek. Chantal flicking it back. Laforgue. Really not a great deal of direction there. One or two players really running it up very hard. Kresek. Straight to Darryl Williams. Williams losing the ball in the tackle. Dean Bell coming screaming through and towing it. French side still not making a lot of progress. Trapped for a long time now within their own half. Kiwi possession. Kurt Sorensen, Friend, Cooper. Kemble. Right, Kurt Sorensen to Dane Sorensen. Dane Sorensen well and truly dumped and losing the ball in the tackle. Malang to Mongaillard. Mongaillard, one of the most penetrative forwards for France in the first half, has virtually hardly been there in the second half. Brissek with a little chip through, straight to Friend. Friend getting away from his opposite number. He doesn't seem terribly keen on tackling. The Kiwis once again with a chance to attack. In front of the goal post. And 20 metres out. The penalty for not allowing Fred Arcoy to play the ball. And they'll have a shot, Dane Sorensen. Relatively simple kick for Dane Sorensen. Right in front and about 18 or 19 metres out. Certainly well within his kicking range. Flagged away though, away to the right. So the score remains 20-0 to the Kiwis. 4 tries to 0. Espunya. Once again, straight to Kemble. Williams. See how much ground the Kiwis can make now. Friend, Cooper, Bell, Luluai, Arcoy, Luluai. Arcoy, Cooper, Filipina. Straight back to Wallace and to Cooper. Nice little pass from Wayne Wallace to Dean Bell. Kurt Sorensen, Dane Sorensen, McGann, Dane Sorensen. Pushing off the tackler with great ease to brother Kurt. Arcoy. McGann. That's a straight handover, being caught in the 6th tackle. Chantal with a big pass to Payet. Gressek with the kick through, and that's another simple one for Kemble to run back. And a cheer from the crowd, rather ironic that Gressek actually made a tackle. Luluai. Friend. right. Wallace waiting. Friend. Cooper. Bell. Friend. Clayton Friend caught a boot in that tackle from T2. He's limping a little now, but seems to be okay. Owen Wright. See if the French side can make any more progress this time. Espuña, flicking it on quickly. Chantal, caught. Andre Perez warming up, and Serge Perez. I think Serge Perez is going to come on first, number 15. Campbell runs around for it. Arcoy. Penalty New Zealand for not being allowed to play the ball as Serge Perez comes on, the 24-year-old from the Esteve club. Just looking at who he's replacing. It's Palunk, Mark Palunk, who has come off, the second rower. Serge Perez, we imagine, will go straight into the second row. Still waiting for the ball. Seems to be rather ridiculous delays here. The ball boys way down the other end of the field having a little game of football of their own. Now we have 3 balls on the field. Glenn Gibb on the sideline, as we said, had taken over the role of ball boy, but on that occasion he didn't have any ball. Clayton Friend away through a gap. Friend still going, running around looking for support. Dane Sorensen. Cooper. Clayton Friend always clever at taking advantage of people losing concentration after a delay like that. Dane Sorensen. Dean Bell. Friend. Filipina. Friend. McGann. Arcoy. Dane Sorensen ends up with the ball and a couple of tacklers right on him. Friend, Cooper, Luluwai can't hold it. Manages to regain it, but they'll come back. Just 10 minutes remain in the match now. Kiwis leading 20-0, 4 tries to 0. French ball. Kiwi scrum waiting for the French scrum to form. New Zealand ball this time. Friend caught. $15 metres short of the line now. Wallace trying to go himself. Made a good 10 metres. A big line up now, standing deep. Friend. Penalty again to the Kiwis for not being allowed to play the ball. And they'll have a shot. Dane Sorensen just looking at the leg and whether or not it's going to last the game. And with Olsen Filipina on the field now as the replacement, the regular kicker is back there. And this is certainly well within Olsen's range. And one that should be relatively simple for him. Just a couple of steps. And an easy kick, an easy 2 points for Olsen Filipina. For a refringement, in fact, that the Kiwis were penalised for a great deal in Great Britain. They seem to have learned from their mistakes. France has been penalised for it all day. (22-0). 7 3/4 minutes remain. That's how simple it was for Olsen Filipina. Restart to McGann. Bell. Luluai. Filipina. Good tackle by Serge Perez. McGann. Friend. Cooper. Right. Bell. And right up to the halfway line, just like that. Friend. Sorensen. McGann. Kurt Sorensen again, flicks it back over his head. Luluai picks it up. Penalty for the shoulder charge. Yare puts it out. T2. Tackle by Filipina. Clayton Friend up very, very quickly. The Kiwis forcing some mistakes in this French side with quick tackling. Hugh McGann caught one from Espuña. One that doubtless will be repaid. Espuña for the line. Almost to the 22 line now in Kiwi territory. And again we wait for the ball. Chantal. Penalty to France. Little indecision as to what they're going to do with it as Espuña decides to put it out. Perhaps they can launch an attack from here. 22 points down. The attack comes to naught. With a handling mistake, there's some wrestling over the ball now, but the French have possession again. Once again, they lose it as simply as that. Filipina, Luluwai. Friend. Cooper flicking it through to Williams. Williams has been pretty well contained, pretty well wrapped up today. Right. Filipina. 5 tackles on the Kiwis. Filipina a little slow to get up. Campbell. French team trying desperately to put something together that will work for them. Hasn't exactly been a flawless display of ball skill from them this afternoon. It seems at the crucial pressure times that the balls go to ground. T2. Good ball up to Mongayar from Chantal. Laforgue. Valère. Playing it himself. A little chip over the top. Tidied up by Kurt Sorensen, running it back into play. And getting the pass away. Nearly going to ground. McGann. Dane Sorensen. Unaffected by the head-high tackle. That is the end of the match. Well, there's still a minute or so showing on the scoreboard. But the referee has decided that's the end of the match. And New Zealand have won by 22-0. 4 tries to 0. The first one to Kurt Sorensen. The conversion failed. The second to Dane O'Hara, in which the conversion also failed. Then Hugh McGann got a try. Dane Sorensen converted it. And Kurt Sorensen got his second try, which was converted by brother Dane. And the penalty was the extra points. And so the Kiwis have come out the winners by 22-0 over a French side that in the second half really did not look to have the wherewithal